Herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von der Beginners Guide.
Wie geht's euch?
So was
Habt ihr
Besonderes,
alle mal
aber
vermisst?
immerhin ist es irgendwas. Das ist halt ein bisschen Walking, ein bisschen Story. Ist jetzt nicht uninteressant. Also ich meine, es ist halt ein bisschen Story. Kann man mal zuhören. Das ist die
Irgendwas ist für dich immer besser als gar nichts.
Jetzt ist das wichtig. Es muss ein Rätsel mit 2 Türen und Schaltern.
Oh, scheiße, Teamviewer stürzt ab. Na geil. Irgendwie habe ich schon darauf gewartet, dass es irgendwann kommt. Ich habe einfach darauf gewartet.
Okay. Ja, das war das allerletzte, was ich getan habe, bevor ich hier reinkam. Okay. Okay.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Straßenlaterne, ciao. April 2009. Okay.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level. and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Er war böse.
Er war böse. Warum? Was habe ich falsch gemacht, Marvin?
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Oh, okay.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Kostenloses T-Shirt. Also eine Menge. Ein bisschen zu viel Zeit, ne? Kannst du mal gucken, was die für einen Sound machen?
Sound, 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 Sound.
Es muss einen Grund geben. Ich hab das Spiel geschafft.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Sehr interessant. Straßenlaterne, okay, das ist das Ende. Alles klar.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Ach, das ist dann auch den Brunnen. Oh, sieht cool aus.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2, okay. Oh. Laserspuren in jeder Ecke. Wir haben noch einen Tisch schon.
Marvin. Wir haben im Dezember eine Chance verpasst, an Q2
There's a bit
ranzukommen.
more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything.
Okay.
It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Er sagt gar nicht, was du hast.
So, okay, he throws it out and...
Ne, ich erzähl. Okay, pass auf. Nämlich, die Entwickler haben dir gepostet, wenn man die Collectors Edition des Original kauft, kriegt man mit eine Cube 2 Beta. Hätten wir schon im Dezember haben können. Verdammt nochmal!
This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Mittlerweile wird nicht mehr verkauft. Ich habe auf der Website nachgeschaut. Wir hätten schon im Dezember haben können. Mann, warum? Warum?
Okay. Okay. Hab ich gemacht. Ah, da steht's.
Zurück.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just link you real quick for a few more. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Oh, eine Telefonzelle. Ah.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself. Ich kann, das ist cool. 1. I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between. Just so you're aware, nothing will happen here until you've been inside the house.
Achso, okay. Habe ich erwartet, aber... Naja, man kann es ja mal versuchen, ne?
Böser Marvin, böser Marvin. Der Facecam ist wieder im Weg.
Oder musst du die ganze Zeit deine Textnachrichten verschieben?
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from the From here on out, he begins putting much more effort.
Ist abgestürzt. Mal wieder. Man darf halt kein einziges aus dem Spiel rausgehen, das ziehen wir immer ab.
And this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
3 Monate, das ist viel Arbeit.
Angesehen ist nur der Sklave von dieser Person.
Ah, okay. Man muss nicht wirklich was machen, also alles okay.
Ja klar, ich meine... Ja.
Ganz persönlichen Käse verraten, das ist in Ordnung. Was meinen die mit Käse? Käse ist immer gut. Nein.
Das sollte doch was sein, irgendwie ein paar Tee,
Ja.
Tee direkt an den Mund gebracht und gleich noch was zu essen und dann noch rübergetragen ins Bett.
This house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Koda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Also ich kann mir das überhaupt nicht einfach nur creepy vorstellen, wie so eine Person die ganze Zeit ein Smiley auf dem Gesicht hat. Aber naja.
War ich ja nicht kurz viel einzudrücken. Wie kann die Sachen überhaupt? Wie können die Bücher überhaupt schon wieder unten sein? Ich hab die doch erst aufgeräumt. Ich hätte doch gar nichts ausgeräumt.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Frage.
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Wie passiert was, wenn man so lange in dem Schwarzen steht?
Nein. Geht vielmehr um das, was der versucht zu erklären, was darüber gebracht wird.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Okay, schau mal, da fliegt ein Baum in der Luft.
Nice.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Bin hergekommen, weil das Spiel mich da auch zugetrieben hat. Weil nein. Okay. Das ist okay.
Schön, dass der Verein alles lebt.
Einen nicht übersetzt. Ja, kannst du bitte nicht drüber fahren, ich will es bitte lesen.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Das ist der Schlüssel, wie schaffe ich das?
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Der hat auch keine Ahnung. Der Lehrer.
Allerdings. Aber ist es nicht irgendwie bei allen Lehrern heimlich so?
Folge sollte ich nicht gerade rein. Okay.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Okay. Januar 2010. Oh was, die Folge ist doch schon übervoll.
This one took a lot longer than all the
gesagt
others.
hat, warum?
Ich wollte es, aber dann habe ich dich einfach gelassen. Ist nicht so schlimm. Nimm einfach bis 40 auf, dann hast du 2 Folgen draus.
Man muss sich wieder trennen. Okay, ich mach's.
Ja, gut,
Bis zur nächsten Folge. Ciao.